All right, I got a red light.
Okay. It's a little hard to get out, so sometimes you have to take a little.
I got one.
I use the paper out more. Yeah. You got the battery out?
Of the remote.
Just push the end of it
I
over
got.
and it will slide out. Okay. Now, let me see. Put the LED over the battery, see if the battery works. Good. Okay. Battery works. So put it back in, make sure it sets in the well right.
All right.
So we know the clicker's working.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's take the Arduino and I don't want it plugged into the breadboard yet. So do not have it plugged into the breadboard.
So wait, you want me to unplug it?
Plug in to the USB on a computer.
So unplug from the breadboard?
To turn it on. I don't want the breadboard plugged in yet. We haven't tested the circuit.
All right.
I want to make sure the Arduino's working and you understand somewhat of what we're doing with it.
Arduino's on.
Okay, I need to see it. Okay, you can see it blinking.
Yeah.
That blinking tells you that it's working. Okay.
Okay.
And that will continue to blink. Pin 13, if you take your red LED,
Yeah.
plug the long wire, which is positive, into pin 13, the short one into ground, the pin next to it, and it should start blinking too. Great. Good. We're off and running. So far we know that everything's got working and so on, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think what we should probably do here is stop a minute and put the laptop on the table. We got to get some hardware and software connections. And I'm going to switch to Arduino. So put the blue laptop up. And hopefully my share screen is going to work here.
All right. I'm installing Arduino right now.
Okay, are you seeing my Arduino?
Yeah.
Coming up there? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
And there's your Arduino.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as I said, none of this is going to work there. And you might going to have to review. You might have to go to review if you don't take notes. Okay. This part of it and what I told you.
Yeah.
This is where you have to go to the Arduino and find somewhere on the internet or there. It's probably not on the Arduino website itself.
What?
So I would do a search on your browser for a guy's name, but what all you have to do is do a search for IR receiver and Arduino. And there's a gentleman there by the name of Schiff, SCHIFF. Find his article. He's the one that wrote the library for this. So on that search, you'll have to find the library and download it into your computer. So let me see if I can find that. No, for some reason. Anyway, hold it just a minute. I'm looking here. Okay. I'm going to go back to my screen now. Yeah, it's not what I want. Okay, let me see why I'm not sharing the screen.
It is sharing your screen.
Okay, good. You see it, I don't. Okay. If you see there, you'll go to your C drive or your master drive. I presume that's C. Go into C. Okay. Then go down to program where all your programs are installed. And this is usually times 86. That's where all your programs will be put when you install them. And this is the Arduino. So that is your Arduino folder. So what you have to do is take your programs, your drivers, and put them into that folder.
I can't find the...
Don't worry about it now. Just, you're going to have to do this on your own because it takes a little bit of playing. On the laptop, you got the laptop up there? My laptop?
I have your laptop.
This isn't going to work until you get it all installed. So go into C drive, and then you program where programs are installed and find Arduino. Now this is very, very important.
Okay.
Okay. So this is your first level. Okay. So I'm going to go into the libraries here.
Yeah.
And this is where all of your libraries are for the Arduino. So when you get that downloaded as a zip file, you're going to have to unzip it and move it over here to the libraries. It's got to be in this library file.
So
Okay.
what?
Now I'm going to show you, this is IR remote. That's what it's going to look like. Under the IR remote,
Okay, so
you're going to have these files. And if you remember anything from programming in C++ with the Arduino, you have a header program, and that's a .h. That drives everything. Then you have the .cpp program, okay? So there's a README there that helps you. You do need to read that very carefully. This is a program here, IR remote, that we're going to have. So all of these files have to be there. Now up here is examples. Okay. And these are the examples of the program. So there's programs that we're going to use, one to record the output. What we're interested in is a receive demo. We want to receive from the clicker.
yeah.
Dump means you're going to dump a lot of information into there. So we're probably not going to work with that one for a while. Relay. So for the start, we're just going to work with the IR receiver demo program.
Yeah.
So if you click on there, and it'll come up with IR receiver demo.pde. Now, this is where we have a problem in computers. As we move forward, we get new versions. So this is an old file, but it will still work. But it has to be converted to .ino. Okay. And again, instructions will come up telling you how to do this. Sometimes it's as simple as just changing that extension, okay, to INO. You'll see. But anyway, these are things you're just going to have to play with till you get them. Took me 2 days to get all this work and to give you this short lecture here. So, but it all works. Got it so far?
Yeah.
And then when you click on that, that's going to come up. Okay. In Arduino. Now, I had problems, and you may too, because we've got the Arduino is what we call open source. So there's original company in Italy that makes it, and then they let the rest of the world make it. So DFROBT in China makes their version of it. And they have to be almost exactly the same, at least hardware. Eligo company has their version. So sometimes they're a little different, and you just have to play with the software or the hardware to get it working. Usually it's a software problem. So I couldn't get the DFROBT working, okay? So what I did, I went to this article from Shift, and I just copy and pasted. He's got the programs in there. So I copied and pasted the program for the RR receive demo, and that's what you see there. Now let's go over how this works. Okay, this is the basic working now for any program. You'll see your program here in C++. Okay. And then you have your taskbar down at the bottom. One of them is going to tell you what's happening. And on the right side, you'll see a little slide program tells you where it's at on uploading. The black one will give you errors. So hopefully you won't have any errors if you follow what I'm saying, because I got them all tested in 2 days. So what we do is go up here to this, and you'll see down at the bottom that verifies it. So that program means there's no real debugs in your programming. So it's verified. And you'll see on the right way down there, it's still working to verify it. The little green bar over on the right is not done yet. Okay. So it's compiling the program.
Yeah.
And we're not going to mess around a lot with this because it might get hung up at certain percent. So this is where you're going to have to do some playing once you get this far. Once it gets over here, this guy down here completes, and it looks like he's hung up.
Mine, Dr. Cott.
Yeah.
I have the receive demo on my computer, the new one, and it's already finished compiling.
Okay, if it's finished compiling, mine isn't.
Yeah.
Then we go here to the next one, and we're going to upload it. So now you should see the Arduino. If it's connected, USB, the Arduino will be blinking some lights. Don't connect it yet. We're not at that point. Okay. So now it's uploading the program. If you remember, the Arduino is a microcontroller. It is not a microcomputer like the Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi is a computer, and it works. So far, we've worked with Python. The Arduino, we're working with C++ and its controller. So it tends to only do one thing at a time. So once you load that program, it's going to be there until you load another program or get rid of it. So first thing to do, take the program number 1 from the Arduino, which I'll show you, and load it and make it blink. And if you get it blinking with the embedded LED and a red LED, then you know that you're uploading, you're verifying, et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
So now, and these are important too. Go up here to Tools.
Yeah.
And you have to set these. So you've got to find the port we're on.
Yeah.
I'm on COM port 8. You set it for 8. And then we're working with the Arduino Uno. You set it for the Arduino Uno. Once you've got it set for those, it should work. It should compile. Do that before you compile, before you run. Then go back up here to Tools and turn on here. If you want to get board information, this should give you information on your board, which takes time, so I'm not going to do it. Go up to Serial Monitor, and there's your serial monitor. Okay.
All right.
So now, if you've got everything working, okay,
Yeah.
you're going to take your clicker and you're going to start with 0. We're not going to do it today. You got to get this far with all the other stuff first.
Yeah.
Click on 0, and in that monitor, you will see the hexadecimal code for 0. for that monitor. If you keep clicking, it's going to give you an error of, I think it's FFFFF. Those are of no value. So click it in a hurry, and you're probably going to get one good click and then the error. Then go to number 1.
Yes.
And click number 1 come up. So I'm at this point from 0 to 9. Then on this screen here, you're going to copy that and paste it into Word. And then keep that as a file. Those are the numbers that you're going to assign the hexadecimal code for 0 for the various functions on the drone. So up arrow could be takeoff, and that might be FD 3400F hexadecimal. Down arrow may be land. Right arrow, and these are all hexadecimals you put in your drone program, which is way far down the line from where we're at right now. But you have to have research on the clicker that you've got. And then I would put a tape on there, because we've got lots of clickers that you know what clicker it is. They may be the same, they may be not, but we'll find that out as we go. Down here, you've got auto roll. Show time stop means it's going to show the time and the date. Probably don't need that for what we want right now. Okay. Over here, you've got both carriage return and a line feed. You do want that. It's like in a typewriter. At the end of that line, you want to go to the next line. So that should be on. Baud rate that we're using, and you'll find more than likely your system's going to use, is 9,600. Then you can clear it and close it. And as I said, you have that saved in Word now. So when we're all done with this, we go to the next step. But that pretty well takes you through the Arduino. Over here under File, you go over here to Examples and go to Basics. If I can do it. And you'll see Blink. So you should see it brought up a new one down there. Don't know where it went. Let's try again.
File, examples, basics,
And
blink.
here's our new one. So now this program should work right away. So
Yeah.
once you get everything connected, just do a blink. Okay. And then the best thing, so you get some experience at coding, change the blink. Okay, you change it, and remember, computers work in milliseconds, 1,000th of a second. So you'll change it down there, and if you remember, the // is a comment that doesn't do anything but tells you what happens. So you have your loop, your setup, LED output, okay? The loop will run over and over again forever. So now anytime your Arduino's plugged in, that red light will blink until you give it some other chore to do. And then it says wait for 1 second, 1,000th, or wait on. High is on, low is off. So what I did the first test was I made it stay on for 10 seconds, turned it off for 5 seconds. Okay, do something so you get an idea on how to start playing with these. Okay. Let me stop screen sharing here. And there we are back. So I understand that's a lot. That's about 2 hours work, I think. However, you're very, very fast, so you probably will get it done quicker. And you've already got a pretty good basic stand. And so I've worked out of the most of the bugs out. So if you can follow that, and especially where I told you the bugs are, okay? As I said, to get the clicker, what I did is put the shift in, but you can play with it. On the DFROBT, there's another program you might want to put on your program because we're going to be working a lot with this. It's probably the most powerful program for drones there is, and it's called Mind Plus. The problem is most of this stuff is done in Chinese. So Google Translate does a pretty good job if you hit translate, but it won't translate pictures. It'll only translate text. So if they're using a picture, it's going to stay Chinese. Now, what they have done is they've asked people around the world to have translate. So people have done that in the open source and is now available in several languages. So it still is overwhelmingly Chinese, but you can set it up in English. Somebody's done an override system for English, and most of your blocks in graphic programming will be in English. So it's the most powerful one that I have found. When we take this clicker and put it into the Robomaster TT. Now, when you get into Robomaster or get into Mind Plus, go up to official documents. And it's a long one, very well done in English, and explains everything you need to know about the next step, the next 2 steps. One, the extension that we started on last Christmas, how to program it. It is basically the same as the Arduino. So what works with the Arduino will probably work with that extension. Okay? But then you need, as I said, the library, which there is none for Arduino. You'll have to get the library from them for the Robomaster TT. So I would hope by tomorrow's a school holiday, you can show me in a Word file your hexadecimal codes for 0 through 9. Think you can do that?
I should be able to.
Yeah, I think you can. If you need to go back to this is recorded. So I can put this up on YouTube, so you can pick it up if you want. Also, what I do, because of my problem with hearing, is I always put on the closed captionings on YouTube. Okay, it helps you tell where you're at. Then over on the right, if you never use it, there is a hamburger icon. Have you used that?
No.
Click on it and you have 3 options. On the bottom option, you click, and on the right side where we've got chat here will come up all of the captioning time logged. So I use that, and a lot of people do, to tell you where we're at in a code. So in a video like this is long, you can use that time code, or you can find it in the time log on the video.
Oh, I have used what you're talking about
Okay.
before, the transcript.
Yeah. So you need to find the parts that you need to in a hurry. So there's
Yeah.
different ways to do that, and students do it different. They said I use that time log. Sometimes I take the time and put it up for other people. Okay. So, okay, where are we at? Okay, that's 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That should give you a lots to do. Okay. Okay, any questions?
No.
Okay, let me see if I covered everything. Yeah, I don't know if I can send you. I'll try to send you the file off that CD disk.
We have a computer that has a CD disc reader,
Okay,
so I can use that.
then you should have no problem reading it.
Uh,
The one for the DFROBT is better. So I have the 2 kits coming today. So if you come over tomorrow, I can give you the other kit to work with. But this gives you plenty of to do to learn how to do all this. Just make sure that you look up your graph, that when you plug in the IR, that you've got the red wire positive where it should be, and the green wire. You don't want to mix those two up. The
yeah.
black is not too hard because it's the one in the middle. All you have to do is remember, though, that that little dot is what's going to point at the person across the room to receive the transmitter. Okay, so don't block it. These are like your clickers for your TV. And they're not going to go very far, and they're not very powerful, and the signal is weak. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we're done. So hopefully I've done all this right. And I'm going to sign off.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's get on tomorrow again at 2 o'clock. Is that okay?
All right. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then.
All right. See you.